Hello. My name is Guerric, and today we are sampling Red Flag Over Paris by Fred Serval and GMT Games. I should mention this is currently on the P500. I think this is mostly final art, but don't hold me to that. And I think Fred said some of the cards may not have final text. So if we encounter anything wonky, don't judge the game. I know those have been smoothed out. Anyway, joining me is Drew.
Hello.
And he is going to attempt to teach me this when neither of us have played. So it's going to be great.
Yep.
No pressure.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm sure Fred will watch this later and make all kinds of fun of me. But okay, so yeah, in the meantime, here we go. So this is Red Flag Over Paris. I am playing the communards who are attempting to institute a socialist revolution in Paris. Actually, they've just taken over Paris. And the government of France, which has also been recently instituted after Emperor Napoleon III was captured by the Prussians and surrendered to them, is not about to let a socialist uprising control the city. So, and that's Guerric. Guerric is the forces of oppression in this case. Guerric also seems to have left the chat.
What?
Uh-oh.
What are you talking about?
Oh no, Badger just joined us. I heard a ping thing.
Are you guys?
Hi, Badger.
We're streaming,
Yes.
Badger, yeah.
Okay.
But welcome to the stream.
I didn't see where it's. I didn't see it tweeted out or anything. So I'll jump on Twitch.
Okay.
Thanks.
One of these days, I should probably lock those channels.
That's okay. Yeah. So anyway, the communards, aka me, are so the way that you win in this game is a little bit different depending on the faction. So the communards are attempting to score more political victory points, and the Versailles player is attempting to score military victory points. So up here, there's this victory point track, and there's a military VP marker and a political VP marker. Those are zero sum. So as the communards, when I score a political VP or vice versa, it puts the other player at essentially -1 victory points.
I got you. It's a tug of war.
It is a tug of war, yes. So either player can score military or political victory points. Even though the communards are going for political VPs, you also can score them, and then vice versa as a denial tactic. The victory conditions at the end of the day to have more points than your opponents of the right type, if that makes sense. So like specifically Guerric Versailles, you need to have more military victory points than I have political victory points.
Got it.
So even if you have 2, but I have 3, then I have 1.
I got you. We're comparing our separate conditions, but we still need to have more of whatever we have than the other.
Yep. So, and also one strategy, like if you're losing horribly on, like if I'm losing on political VPs to you, I can just like lean into military.
Mm-hmm.
And then in this case, not nobody wins. It's a tie. It goes to tiebreakers instead, because neither of us have the right kind of victory points.
I gotcha.
And then there's a bunch of tiebreakers, which we'll talk about at the end. So that's victory points. The way you score VPs are objective cards, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Okay.
But you're going to have 1 objective for each of the 3 rounds of the game. The game can be shorter, but it seems like it's mostly going to go to 3 rounds. The other way to score victory points is by controlling 100% of a crisis dimension, which are these colored boxes.
Those are a lot clearer on the board than they were in just the rulebook when I was reading it last night.
Yes.
I was like, what the heck is a crisis dimension? I don't get it.
Yeah, having this up definitely helped me learn this game a lot quicker, or having the board up next to it. So yeah, these three Paris spaces are a crisis dimension. The 3 forts together are a crisis dimension. The institutional political spaces are a crisis dimension, and then public opinion. So if you control, at the end of a round, if you control 100% of Paris, all 3 spaces, then you're going to get a victory point. Same thing for the forts and so on.
Gotcha.
And these 2 crisis dimensions give you a military victory point for controlling them, and these give you a political VP.
Makes
If
sense.
that wasn't clear. And then there's like a couple other little ways to get victory points, like this track. If you get to the top of it, you're going to get 1 victory point, etc. But for the most part, objectives and crisis dimensions are the VP source in this game. So let's do the sequence of play now. So each round is going to go through these 9 steps on this little thing over here. For the most part, there's not really 9 steps. A lot of it's just like a status cleanup refresh type phase. But anyway, so we're gonna deal out 4 cards, strategy cards, to each player. I'm just gonna put some out as an example because I'm gonna need to explain what to do with them later.
Just can't draw a neutral one.
And then what? Oh yeah, I know. Where's the cards? Perfect. And then also there are, let's stick these out there. And then we're gonna get 4 strategy cards and 2 objective cards. Create another one. Perfect. So you're going to choose one of the 2 objective cards that you drew secretly and keep it. You're gonna stick it in this little box, and then you're gonna discard the other one permanently. Or actually, you're gonna remove it from play. Sorry. And then you're gonna end up with a hand of 4 strategy cards and 1 objective set off to the side, and then we go into the initiative phase. The initiative phase I'm just going to skip for now because it's not relevant in turn 1. But essentially, initiative is it's one of the tiebreakers. It determines whoever has the initiative decides the order in which things are resolved in certain phases of the game, and then they also decide who goes first. In most CDGs, it's better to go last because you have the last card play of a round. That's not always the case, but anyway, whoever has initiative is going to decide which player is going to go first during that round. So we'll kind of play until turn 2, and then we'll talk about what the initiative phase does.
Gotcha.
Or you can just look at it, but basically it's you take your VP and subtract your progress on this track, and whoever has the higher number is going to get the initiative card.
Gotcha.
So then we get to phase 4, which is the meat of the game, where we play 3 strategy cards alternating until both of us have played 3, and that's sort of going to be the bulk of the game.
Yeah.
So when you play a card, you actually have 4 things that you can do with it. The standard CDG thing is you can either fire the event or use the number in the top corner as operations. The events are self-explanatory. You just do what it says on the card. The operations have when you do operations, you are either placing or removing cubes into one of the spaces in the 4 crisis dimensions. So, and there's a little chart over here that explains all of the little nuances there. But essentially, when you place a cube, you just spend 1 op to place a cube in any of these regions, as long as you either have presence, which is a cube there already, or your little flag. So like you always have presence in the Royalists box. I always have presence in social movements.
Can't you also place adjacent to where you have pieces?
Yes. So the other thing is you can place where you are present, or you can place adjacent to where you control. And control is area majority. So like nobody controls the press, but but like I control social movements.
Gotcha.
There are, in at least the political sphere, there are arrows that determine adjacency. So most of them go both ways. But like, for example, Republicans is adjacent to National Assembly, but not vice versa,
Interesting.
because these arrows only go one way.
Yeah.
The military is always both ways.
Okay.
So everything is adjacent to each other. These two are like the one little exception to that.
And then I remember the rulebook mentioned you only check for like rule and adjacency at the start of the placement. You can't daisy chain placements across regions or anything.
Correct. Yep. I was just about to say that. It's super important. So yeah, you at the beginning of your action you check control and presence everywhere, and then that determines where you can do stuff, and then you check again at the ends of your card play. Or I'm sorry. So I guess I skipped one thing. So technically, you remove first and then place. So you can't place then remove.
Yeah.
Cubes. So you determine control and presence right before removing pieces, and then you determine it again before placing. So there is like, you can't quite daisy chain, but you can remove first and then check again and then place.
Gotcha.
So I guess in a sense you sort of can daisy chain. Like if I'm going and I remove this cube, then I have control of the press, which then allows me to check again, and then I could place in Catholic Church or Royalists, etc. So that's like a kind of mini daisy chain.
You get like
You got to have
one chain.
the present cube there first. Yeah, exactly. Yep. And only if you had presence to begin with.
Yeah.
And then when you select operations, you're either going to do all military or all political. So you're going to play a card, and then you're stuck with one theater. You can't go back and forth.
Good to know.
Inside a single card play. So place is pretty straightforward. It's 1 op per cube, or 2 ops per cube if there's a barricade or a fortification, which come out with events, and we'll just talk about them if they show up.
Gotcha.
Removal is a little bit more complicated for military. Political, you just spend 1 op to remove a cube. So pretty straightforward. The military removal op is modeling the difficulty with which the battles actually happened in this time period. The communards were very poorly equipped and trained for military actions, and most of the Versailles troops did not really want to fight the Parisians a lot of the time. So there's like a bit of reluctance to do military on both sides, or reluctance and inability.
Gotcha.
So given that, military removal ops require kind of a die roll. There's no dice, but it's basically a die roll. So the way that works is you spend an op per attempt, and then starting from 0, you calculate strength. So you're going to get 1 strength for every adjacent space that you control. You're going to get 1 strength for presence in the target space, 1 strength for control of the target space, and then 1 strength, up to 1 strength extra for spending an extra operations point. So like if you spend 2 ops to remove, then you get 1 strength as a bonus. So then once you calculate your strength, you are going to draw a strategy card. And if your strength is equal to or greater than the ops value on that card, then you succeed. And then that card just gets discarded. So there's actually a little interesting burn through the strategy deck going on, although it's random, so it's not really something you can control much.
And it's saying for per attempt. So you just do that for any number of removals in a space. You don't have to do that for every removal, like every cube, I mean, right?
No, every time you attempt to remove a cube, you got to...
Each individual cube? Okay.
Oop. Sorry, you cut out a little bit. Say that again.
Each individual cube, just to confirm?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let me check, but I'm 90% sure that's true. Solo, nope. Yeah, rulebook just says per attempt, but yeah, you would attempt for each cube.
It says remove
yeah,
a cube upon success. So yeah, I guess you do it for every single
yeah,
cube.
that's right. There you go. Yep. Now, for the most part, you're probably going to be removing 2 cubes in one space, or 2 cubes like pretty close to each other. So I think your numbers will mostly be the same, but you do have to draw a new card for each cube.
Gotcha.
Also, it's worth noting if you get up to strength 3, then the attempt just auto succeeds. You don't have to draw a strategy card because the strategy cards max out at 3 ops.
Would you still draw one just to cycle the deck or anything, or?
Nope.
Okay.
No, you don't draw a strategy card if your strength is 3 or higher.
Got it.
Okay, so that's place and remove. That's the ops on the cards. Does all that make sense? Do you have any questions?
Nope, I think that's all good.
Cool. So you can do so CDG's like standard stuff. You do ops or you do the event.
Yep.
There's 2 other things that you can do with your cards in this game, which is kind of cool, something I've not seen before. So first, you can discard an event to play the event that is on the top of the discard pile, as long as it's yours. So,
can you do it for a neutral
for example,
event?
Or a neutral event? Sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
As long as you're eligible to play the event. So yeah, like whether it's a card that got pulled out from a removal, or whether it's a card that your opponent played that is yours that you really want, you can discard a card that is equal to the strength of the card or higher and just play the event. You can trigger the top of the discard pile, basically. So that's a fun little strategic tool that I've not seen before. And then the 4th thing that you can do with a strategy card is advance your player momentum. So you just remove a card from the game, which is an interesting note. You don't actually discard it when you do this, and you advance your marker up the track. So for me, this is the Revolutionary Momentum track, and for you, this is the Prussian Collaboration track. So I'll go ahead and explain those now. And actually explaining these sort of requires the cube pool, and now's the time to explain that anyway.
Okay.
When you place cubes, you're going to place them from this crisis track up here. So like, let's say I play a 2 ops card, then they're going to come from here, and then if I play another 2 ops, they're going to come from here, and so on.
Okay.
As soon as a new crisis level is breached, and there are 4 levels here, then all of the bonus cubes up top are going to enter your cube pool immediately. So for you, your cube pool is just infinite, essentially. So like, as soon as you take one of these cubes, then this little bonus cube is going to pop over into your cube pool.
Got it.
For me, I don't have a cube pool. And anytime cubes would go into a cube pool and I don't have space for them, then they just are removed from the game. So my cubes are essentially component limited. As soon as they're removed, they're gone. However, I can open up a cube pool by increasing my Revolutionary Momentum track. So you can see this over here is my cube pool.
Got it.
So if I get to Revolutionary Momentum 1, then I have 2 cube spaces. Yeah, I can bank 2, exactly. So basically, as a commune player, you really want to get to here before you breach the escalation space on the crisis track, because then that's going to put both of these 2 cubes into your cube pool rather than just deleting them from the game.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and then just in general, whenever you remove someone's cube from the board using an op or an event, they go back to the cube pool if there's room, and if not, they're removed from the game.
Got it.
And again, your cube pool is just unlimited, so you don't have to worry about this little mechanic at all. So anyway, yeah, the whatever these tracks are called. I've already forgotten. Momentum tracks. So the Communard momentum track opens up new cube pool spaces. Also, when it gets to 2 or 3, then the Versailles player gets to place a cube for free into any green space.
Got it.
Which is this crisis dimension in the political arena, the institutional dimension.
Gotcha.
And this represents the bourgeoisie freaking out about the revolutionaries getting momentum.
Makes sense. It's clever.
Yeah. So for the Versailles government, you have a similar thing going on, except you actually just unlock cubes. So you'll notice you have way less cubes on your crisis track than I do.
Yeah.
You have a lot less to work with until you start pushing your Prussian collaboration momentum track up. So anytime you hit a level, then the corresponding cube gets unlocked and goes into your pool, becomes available to put on the board.
Cool. Easy.
And then same deal here.
Yeah.
Anytime you get to level 2 or 3, I'm going to get to place a cube for free into the public opinion crisis dimension. And that represents the people of Paris and of France in general being very angry with you collaborating with the enemy. Just because, historically speaking, the Franco-Prussian War has just happened. France invaded Prussia, got spanked. Napoleon III is captured and forced to abdicate, and then Prussia just invades and basically conquers all the way out to France and like the surrounding areas. So there's this Versailles government that's like trying to hold things together and collaborate with Prussia after they lose Paris. There's a big siege of Paris. And so the Versailles government is like defending Paris, and then they just eventually surrender right as the Paris Commune revolts. So there's like this really interesting situation where the Prussians have been sieging Paris against the Versailles government, and now they're collaborating against the revolutionaries inside Paris.
Interesting.
Yeah. So as you collaborate more with the Prussians, the people get very angry at you, and I get free cubes over here. So that is the momentum tracks, and that also wraps up the 4 things you can do with strategy cards. So we can move on to the next part of the sequence of play. So if you remember, you were dealt 4 strategy cards.
Yes.
At the beginning of the game, but we only play 3 of them. So the 4th one is going to be set aside face down in your final crisis hand space.
Okay.
Once we get to the final crisis, then we're both going to take turns. We're going to pick up our final crisis hand, however many cards are in there. And we're going to take turns playing those cards for the event. And in this case, the event will always trigger no matter, like if I play your event out of a final crisis hand, then your event is going to fire and you get to decide what to do with it.
Interesting.
So you can use the final crisis hand to like bury really bad events that you don't want to happen in the middle of the game. Because remember, if you use one of my events for ops, then it's going to end up on the top of the discard pile. And then I can trigger the event by discarding a card of equal or higher value. So if you have really scary events of your opponent, you can bury them in the final crisis hands just to not have to worry about them. But eventually they will be guaranteed to trigger. And you can try and play that balancing act and try and get enough of a lead before final crisis to where that isn't as much of a problem.
Interesting.
So that's step 5. And then we move on to step 6, which is the pivotal space bonuses. So there are 4 pivotal spaces, one for each crisis dimension. They're the little star-shaped spaces.
Gotcha.
At the end of each round, whoever controls each pivotal space is going to get a bonus action. The order in which these are resolved is determined by whoever has initiative, which apparently is the commune to begin with.
Of course it is.
We can always switch.
Keep going.
Yeah, so you could do 3 things with your pivotal space bonus action. So first, you can de-escalate, which is remove 2 cubes from that crisis dimension, or remove 1 of your cubes and 1 opponent cube for free. So like if I control the military or the Paris crisis, pivotal space.
Yeah, you can do stuff in
I
any
can-
of these 3, right?
I can do stuff in any of these 3. Yep. So remove 2 cubes, 2 of your cubes, or 1 of your cube and 1 opponent's cube. That's de-escalation.
Okay.
You can spread influence, which is move up to 2 of your cubes between any spaces. So you can shuffle around inside that crisis dimension. And the third thing is turncoat, which is just replace an opponent's cube with one of yours.
Gotcha.
Remove one of theirs and place one of yours. And then after we do pivotal space bonus actions, we score the crisis dimensions, which is if you control all 3 spaces in a crisis dimension, you score 1 victory point, matching the theater. So Paris will score a military VP, etc.
Yep, I gotcha.
Then we are going to score objective cards, which is step 8. So both of us are going to have 1 of them. We're going to reveal it and score it. So we'll just put this back where we need to. So each objective card is going to correspond to a particular space. So like Pius the Ninth is control the Catholic Church space over here.
Gotcha.
If you meet the objective, like if you control whatever space the objective card that you're revealing wants you to control, then you get a VP. Again, corresponding to that arena. So like this one's going to score a political VP. And then you get to fire the event on the objective card. Also, if you succeed, you get to stick the card in your fulfilled objectives pile, and having more of those is one of the many tiebreakers in this game. So
makes sense.
That's worth paying attention to. If you do not fulfill the objective, then it gets removed from the game. And I'm not really sure why that's relevant, but the rulebook makes it very clear that that's important.
All right. And then finally,
okay.
9.
Yes, that's right. Then we check for Final Crisis, or if it's the end of the 3rd round, and then we go into Final Crisis. So Final Crisis can trigger early, before the 3rd round, if both of us have breached the Final Crisis space on the crisis track.
Got it.
So both of us are all the way up at the top. And now it's worth explaining that, I suppose. So you'll notice it says right here, but the first player to breach the Final Crisis space is going to get the 2 bonus cubes above that Final Crisis spot, but lose 1 political VP.
Got it.
The second player to breach their Final Crisis space does not get the bonus cubes above it. They're just removed from the game, but they don't lose any VP for going there second.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the whole game. It's pretty simple.
What about?
Well, we should talk about tiebreakers.
I was gonna say, what about we have these powerful cards that we can use, right?
Oh, right. Yes, thank you. So at any time during the game, you can play your Final Crisis card for 4 ops, or can you use the event? Let me check. Pretty sure you just get to play it at any time. Of course, you asked the question about the card that's buried in like one little section in the rulebook. There it is. Okay, that's right. So yeah, I wonder what happens to your other card if you play it. If I can find that.
During normal rounds, a player may discard a card to use their Final Crisis card for operations.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Yeah, so you can discard one of the regular cards from your hand to swap out for your Final Crisis card, but you can only use it for the operations, and it has 4 ops, which is a big deal because the highest cards in this game are 3, and the vast majority of cards are going to be 1 or 2. in my experience with CDGs like this. And actually, just from this draw, that looks roughly correct. There's a lot of 1s and 2s, and then very few 3s.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're in an emergency situation, you can swap out like a 1 for your final crisis card for the ops. Or if you keep it all the way until final crisis, then you get to add it to your final crisis hand and use it for the event. And presumably the event is very strong, although I haven't looked at them.
They've got a lot of text, and that means they must be strong.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so then let's just briefly glance at tiebreakers, and then I think we can probably dive in. So if neither of us meet our victory condition, which is again laid out up here, then whoever has the most of 4 tiebreakers wins the game. So there are 4 things, and if you have 3 of these things, then you basically take the tiebreaker. And then if there's still a tie, then the commune player wins by default. So those tiebreakers are most combined VPs. So even if you have the wrong kind of VP, then having more of them total is one of the 4 tiebreakers.
Okay.
Most objectives fulfilled, which is why we keep the little stack of fulfilled objectives over here. Most pivotal spaces controlled is a tiebreaker, and then the 4th one is whoever has the initiative. So if the game looks like it's gonna go to a tie, then you want to be focusing on getting 3 of those 4, or 2 of them and denying 1, or some combo of that.
All makes sense.
Cool. Let's put all these back. Okay.
Okay, great.
Oh shoot.
What's up? What did we miss? Oh.
So you always have control of Versailles headquarters. And it's not a space that you can place into, but basically you're always adjacent to Fort d'Issy and Mount Valérien.
Yep.
Once you get all the way to the top of Prussian collaboration track, then you also get access to Prussian occupied territory, which is the same thing. It's not a real space, but it provides permanent control adjacency.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can start.
Awesome. Let's see.
Okay.
So we each need 4 strategy cards and 2 objective cards?
Yep, 4 strategy cards and 2 objective cards.
Alrighty, let's get to thinking.
Okay, I picked my objective.
I have also picked mine.
And then
is that where this one's
be? I don't know if they're supposed to be discarded face up or face down.
Let me
clear. Did not catch that. Let's see if we can figure it out. That's important.
Importante.
Important for us. But if we knew what we were doing, it would be important. Yep, face down.
Okay.
Is this your? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Oh, cool. It's face down in Fort
Thank you,
Sumter, so that makes even more sense.
Yeah. I've never played Fort Sumter, so I don't have that reference point. But yeah, this is. Fred has said a couple times that this game wouldn't exist without Fort Sumter. So
yeah, I think the P500 mentions it being a spiritual successor or something. Like it's very much in the same vein. Okay. So we chose those. You said we skipped the initiative phase basically because it ends up with you having initiative for this first turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then
yes, that's right. So I will select you to go first.
You're selecting me to go
the last
first.
action. Yeah. Sorry.
Hmm.
Actually, I
Wait a
guess we
minute.
could. Well, no, it'd just be a mental exercise.
So this says the player with the higher initiative level decides whether to play first or play second. Flip the initiative card with the first player's faction face up, and they become the initiative player. So I think
Yeah, so I just realized that actually the commune player doesn't just start. There is technically a calculation, but the calculation winds up with the commune player having initiative. But
right.
let's just do it, so we understand it.
Sure.
Yeah, so the way initiative is calculated is you take your political VPs for both players. So political VPs is the only thing that matters for initiative. So we both have political VP 0. And then you subtract your player momentum. So we're both at 0. So basically our initiative level right now is 0 for both of us. And then commune always wins ties for initiative.
Gotcha.
So that's why the commune has initiative at the beginning.
But what I was actually bringing up is, if I'm reading this correctly, if you're choosing me to play first, that actually makes me initiative player.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, that's good. That's very clever. I still want you to go first, so
Okay.
take initiative.
Haha, sucker. All right, now I will actually read my cards and not read the rulebook pretending I was reading my cards.
Oh, good. Gives me more time to read my cards. Is Fred in the chat right now?
I don't think he's here yet. He said on Twitter he wouldn't be able to arrive for a while.
Okay. Well, Fred, whoever you hired to do the graphic design of this game did an excellent job.
All right, thinking about my objective.
Actually, GMT probably hired them, not you. But
I was thinking that, and I was going to say
they made a good choice. Good job, Fred. I'm going to give you the credit. Oh, dang. Interesting. Huh. I guess I have to read events before deciding what I want to do with initiative.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and fumble through this. Oh no!
Well, before you fumble, give me 15 seconds.
Okay. 1, 2.
Oh, don't
3.
count out loud. Yeah, initiative is actually a really interesting and difficult choice. Because you get to decide the order in which everything gets resolved for pivotal spaces.
And that's why I wanted to make sure I was getting initiative when you made me play first. I was like, I think I remember that from the rule book, and I think that's a big consideration that you're missing.
Yeah, it is a big consideration. All right, yeah, I'll keep the initiative, which means I go first.
Wait, where'd your objective go? Oh, did you put it back in your hand?
My objective? Oh, yeah, that's true. I could put it out here.
In the space labeled for it, you could.
Yeah, it's nice to have it like face up and looking at me the whole time instead of face down and me having to check it.
Well, I will
put it.
I'm gonna do the same thing then if you're gonna do that.
All right. Well then, hey, great.
I'll spite you and make something better for our viewers.
No, we can put it in the space. I remember what it is now. Um. Oh God. Oh man, actually, this is cool. He's managed to build some of the tension of try and struggle into this game without actually using the always trigger your opponent's events.
You mean with the
Rule
discard
that's
thing?
mostly only in try struggle with the discard thing.
Yeah.
Like it's just not really safe to play your opponent cards unless you just in general. Huh. Very interesting. Oh man, what a weird hand. Hmm. Okay, I'm going to play this card, Fortification of Mont Valerian.
Ooh.
Valerian.
Ooh.
I don't know French. I'm going to butcher all these words, by the way, just so you're aware.
I mean, that looks like Valerian from my basic understanding of French, and also, like that popular comic series or whatever, Valerian and the Thousand Planets or whatever, that had that terrible movie adaptation.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but cool. Okay, so I'm going to. Oh yeah. Okay, so I have two ops. I'm going to do a removal first.
Okay.
And I'm picking political. So this is just a free removal.
Okay.
And then I have one more op, and I guess it probably makes the most sense to just place in Catholic Church now that I have control of the press. Threaten a victory point right off the bat from control of a crisis dimension. And now you may very scarily place a cube here and also a fortification. Did I guess now that it's well, you can decide. No, I should explain it so you know if you want to do the event. So yeah, fortifications.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, do you feel like you?
Go ahead and explain it for the stream, if anything.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah, so fortifications are placed via events for the most part. Everyone has two of them. Fortifications, and I have barricades for some nice little historical setting. So fortifications or barricades in a space make it significantly harder to do operations. So if you look over here, military op removals cost 2 ops per attempt if there's a fortification or a barricade. And then placing also costs 2 ops if there's a fortification or a barricade. Oh, I forgot to mention earlier, but there is a stacking limit in each space. I think it is 4 cubes. I forget if it's 3 or 4 cubes. I'll look that up in a second.
Okay.
But fortifications and barricades also do not contribute to the stacking limit, so they get an extra piece in there. Oh gosh, what just happened? Okay, there we go.
I
Dang, where's the cube limit? Search is failing me.
I'm going to... Hey, Fred.
Hi, Fred. Fred, what's the influence cube limit
Per space, you
in
mean?
a space? Is it
Yeah.
4 or 3? I can't find it in the rule book because I'm apparently blind or something. Oh, never mind. I found it. It's 4.
There you go.
So yeah, just to finish up that explanation, the you can only ever have 4 cubes for each player in a space. And so the fortifications and barricades don't contribute to that 4 cube stacking limit, but they do contribute to control and presence. So effectively, you can have 5 pieces in a space where there's a barricade, which means you are probably guaranteed to be able to control it.
All right, I hate this. I hate this so much. I'm going to purchase the discarded event with Gaston Cremieux. Yeah. And then I'm going to place a cube in Mount Valerian and a fortification.
Oh man.
I know. Oh, cube pool. Oh, I do have one in the cube pool. Right, you're right, Fred. I didn't notice that was there.
Oh right, I never explained that, but yeah, it always comes out of the cube pool before it hits the crisis track.
Yep, I just forgot Drew removed one. Is what it was. I hadn't looked at it again since Drew removed one of my cubes.
Oh. Yeah, I know, Fred. Mount Valerian in the discard was probably a terrible idea.
Gaston Cremieux in the discard is a terrible idea.
But I'm happy because then he had to play Gaston.
I'm being greedy.
Known in some circles, as he's known in some circles, Drustan.
I don't think this one is. No.
No. It's his name is Drustan, and I'm playing him because why would I not play Drustan?
Oh, I'm getting greedy, but we'll see if it works.
Oh wait, I gotta discard.
You gotta pay for it.
Yes, I will discard Raoul Rugo. Yeah, placing 2 for free is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's a pretty choice.
So is that it? Yep, just place 2. Okay, cool. That is excellent. Now I have a cube pool and everything.
Don't rub it in.
What do I want to do? Social movement is fine. You can't even get there. You're too far away. So yeah, 1 in press and 1 in the Catholic Church. And back to you.
I'm going to
cry. Oh, Fred's about to poop on our party.
What'd I do wrong? Is it only in social movements?
Oh, duh. Yeah, that's totally it.
Sweet.
I misread social movements.
I also misread it.
Public opinion.
I was panicking it as public opinion as well. Yeah.
I think I'm still fine with that.
Thank goodness Fred can read because neither of us can.
I mean, I definitely still take the event. That's a a great event. I get 2 cubes and I get to increase momentum, which I was gonna have to do anyway. So I'm definitely doing it. So you're still up, but that probably changes your turn maybe a little bit.
I'm a little less worried about the public opinion now.
Thanks for pooping on my party, Fred.
um
I love that McMahon is your Final Crisis card.
Decisions.
He's like randomly an Irish emigre that like somehow managed to become like a general in the French army. He's a really interesting character.
I can imagine.
While Guerric is painfully trying to decide what to do, for the viewers, there is an excellent history podcast by Mike Duncan called Revolutions. And he has a whole season on the Paris Commune in 1871. It's very, very good. You probably should listen to his French Revolution season, which is very long, and the revolutions of 1848 because they kind of set up for this. But if you're into history and you like podcasts, Mike Duncan's Revolutions, very, very good. And then you can learn about McMahon and why he's a very interesting character. Guerric's like, I hate history. Shut up so I can think.
I'm struggling. That's what I'm doing.
This is a really good, tight game. I like it a lot already. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's very good. I'm gonna go P500 this thing.
I know it's gonna be
it
shorter.
Helps that I have a lot of interest in the time period, but it's fun so far.
I can already feel there's not going to be as many actions.
Yeah, give Guerric a tip. Yeah, no, there's not enough actions in this game. You're gonna play 9 cards and that's it. At most.
Like I see where my headspace is I see 2 courses of action basically. And I'm trying to control like the tempo of what I do versus you.
Well, speaking of tempo control, remember that you get to play last because I kept the initiative.
Yeah.
So you are going to be able to respond to whatever I do. So that should help. Like I only have 1 more card play and you have 2. But anyway, carry on. What were you saying?
I'm just torn between like the consideration of tempo control versus the two last card of the turn cannot be bought. Interesting.
Oh, I missed that. Interesting. You mean like discarding a card to pick up the discard?
Yeah, the rulebook calls that purchasing an event or something like that.
Oh, so I can. Oh, that helps a ton. I can play. So you can play. Oh man, I should have saved Mount Valerian to play last.
Yeah,
oh, well.
Probably likewise the same for me. It's fine though.
That's very good to know.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Fred, why can I not friggin' daisy chain? I want to daisy chain so badly. That's all this comes down to. If I could daisy chain, I would be stress-free. Ah! All right. We're gonna go with this. I'm going to play Le Figaro for its event, which states that I can either place up to 2 cubes in the press, or I can replace a cube in a public opinion space.
Okay.
So I think I want to replace your cube in the press.
In the press. Nice.
Because I think that's going to put pressure on your cube pool and limit how much you want to breach this. That's my idea.
Well, if I place a cube, it's going to come out of here first before I breach the crisis thing.
Right. I'm thinking about it backwards.
Yeah, but that does seem like a strong move. Because it denies me the political point, which is my entire victory condition. So that seems like a really good play for you. And yeah, as Badger pointed out, it's also the pivotal space. So you're going to deny somewhere. Like, that's a great spot to do it.
If I was thinking properly with the pool versus the bonus cubes and stuff, I would have probably waited and done it next turn so you have less reaction to it. But it's fine.
I was gonna say you might have considered playing that event next, but also I guess if I create some problem for you, then you're kind of stuck. Not like you have to decide if you want to play that event or fix whatever I.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll roll with it.
Yeah. What do I want to do now?
It's neither the first nor the last mistake I will make in this game.
Oh man, that's real tough.
Yeah, exactly, Badger. I don't feel terrible about it because it does force reaction from Drew at the very least.
Exactly. Okay, I will play Leon Gambetta. I have 3 ops. I'm going to be using them in the political theater first. Yeah, I guess it all boils down to, do you have a 2 op card? I can guarantee that I get that pivotal space if you only have a 1. All right, well, anyway, oh no, actually. There's also some consideration for whether I want to place or remove. No, actually, I think you can do whatever you want no matter what happened. Even if you have a 1 op, you can still just. Okay, I will remove with my first op. With my second op, I will place because I have control adjacency. And with my third op, I will place again. I don't think I'm going to be able to hang on to the press. So do I just go on the offensive a little bit? Yeah, that's what I'll do. You're up.
Okay. Well, that actually makes my decision easy. I'm going to play Adolf Thiers for its event.
Oh, stupid tier.
So, Thiers. That makes sense, actually. I'm going to increase my Prussian collaboration, and then I can place 2 cubes in Royalists.
Nice. Yep.
Okay. So then we...
Interesting.
What's up?
I'm surprised you didn't deny press, but
I
that
know.
also actually kind of makes sense. It's a good use of that event, I suppose. But
Yeah.
I'm kind of happy that played out that way.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so yes, now we set aside the remaining strategy card
Yep.
for Final Crisis. We perform the pivotal space bonus actions, and I choose the order. So you're gonna get. Man, I wish I had remembered that you could play, or that you couldn't buy the last card because I would have played that last. But oh well. So do you remember the pivotal actions, Guerric, or do you want a quick refresher?
Let's refresh them because I am not remembering them.
They aren't on the player aid anywhere. So, okay, so you can de-escalate, which is remove up to 2 of your cubes or remove 1 of your cubes and 1 of your opponent's cubes, which is for you totally not relevant and also not relevant for me because it's got to be inside the same crisis dimension where the pivotal space is.
Yeah.
You can spread influence, which is move up to 2 of your cubes between any of the spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, you can turn coats, which is remove an opponent's cube from a space and place 1 of yours. Actually, currently, none of those are very useful for you.
Do I maintain control if I move this and have just the fortification?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's probably the only thing you can reasonably do with it.
Yeah.
But you can go first. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do then. So long as I'm maintaining control of that, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about fortifications and barricades is they contribute to presence and control, but they don't contribute to the 4 cube limit in the space. So they seem very, very strong.
Yeah.
I regret greatly letting that happen.
Well, you get.
But I thought I had to. It was like
you get this, so you know.
I do get this, which I'm very happy about. So I'm going to relocate 2 spaces just to really defend my position and do what I originally wanted to do with whatever that event you let me play was.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the pivotal space actions. Now we score crisis dimensions. I do have full control of this, so I'm going to score 1 political VP. And then that's it. No one else has control anywhere else. Now we reveal objective cards. So I control the press.
And I control Mount Valerian.
Oh shit, are you serious? I just gave that to you for free?
You gave that to me for free.
That's the worst. That is so the worst. Damn. All right. So you get to use 3 ops in fort spaces and increase Prussian collaboration.
Yeah.
I wonder if you want to do that right now. That's very interesting, actually.
It is.
Because giving me another cube is probably not great right now. I don't know why you would want to decrease it, though.
Oh, did you reach into this? Do you have to move your bonus cubes? I don't remember.
Oh, yes, that's right. I did breach it, and the intent was to make sure they both ended up in here, which, okay. Thank you for reminding me.
Yep.
And then I get 3 operation points in public opinion spaces or replace a cube in any space. Yeah, I don't really need any points in public opinion. So, well, you go first.
Okay. I'm my 3 operations points.
Order, so I'll see what you do.
I end up just placing these 3, I believe, because I buy 1 and then it breaches and pulls this one down, and I grab that, and then I grab the other one.
Yes. Right.
Dupe, of course, and
yeah, very unfortunate for me.
question is, do I reinforce Fort DC or Chateau de Vincent? Vincent? At the end of card play.
That's right.
Okay.
No, yeah, the bonus goes into the pool at the end of card play. So actually, you're breaching all the way up to here.
Cool. Cool.
Oh man, it's so cool how restricted in cubes for Psi is.
All right, I'll plop that there, and then I'll increase my Prussian collaboration, which gets me these.
You almost have to increase your collaboration now because I could, if you only had 2 cubes in the pool, I could probably force you to breach your final crisis on round 2.
Yeah.
Which would give me a free political victory point. Oh, that's so good. I love it. This game is great. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I will use this cube placement to just stick another one in press. And then well, so first of all, you get a military point because you met your objective. So military VP, and then you did the event. I have a political VP for my objective, and then with the event, I think I'm going to replace. I definitely don't need more cubes in public opinion. I actually don't want more cubes in public opinion. I have too many there, I think. So where do I want to swap? Royalists probably makes the most sense right now. But I also could just hit Fort DC. Yeah, I think the defensive play is a little more important right now. So I'm going to replace your cube in here.
Okay. Also, I hate you.
Okay, so that goes into my fulfilled objectives box, and then we check for final crisis. There is no final crisis, so we move on to round 2, where we deal 4 strategy cards to each of us and 2 objectives. Yep, that's what I'll do. Okay, so we now check for initiative. So I'm definitely higher. So actually, no, yeah, I'm definitely higher. So I have 2 political VPs minus 1 momentum track.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a score of 1, and then you have -2 political VPs minus 2, so you're -4. So I'm much higher.
Yeah.
Which means I choose initiative again. Okay, so what do I want to do with that? Let's look at this hand. Fred, or anyone, if a card says must, but you can't fully do the thing that it says you must do you just do as much as you can, or can you just not play the event? I think I remember seeing something about that in the rules, maybe, but event can't be triggered. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Whoa.
Never a good thing to hear.
What is happening in this hand?
I hope your hand is as interesting as mine.
It is. Well, I don't know how interesting your hand is, but mine is weird and interesting. Hmm. Very interesting is what is going on here. Man. Okay, I'm gonna give you initiative. You go first.
Um. Um. We're going to uh regrets. I'll play Jules Vowels, to say that in the most American way possible. For the ops, obviously. And we're gonna throw 2 into 4DC. Fort DC. I don't know. 4DC.
Wait, are there 2 of him?
What are you talking about? Did you
That
play one already?
definitely happened
Wait, did it?
already, I think. That's
You,
cool.
you sure you just aren't remembering when we were showing off the cards? at the
Oh,
start?
yeah, that's right. He got drawn and he was one of the example cards. He just also has the same exact effect as that other card. Oh, no. Now it's in any public opinion space,
Yeah.
which is what I thought the other one was. Okay, so
Fred, are you saying I'm butchering these names and words and that it's painful to you and you want me to check the playbook? Because that's totally fair.
the pronunciation guide is very useful. Not that I am going to make good use of it.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He linked the playbook.
He did.
Where did it go? I will pull it up once I finish my turn, so Fred can be not so sad. We feel it for you, Fred.
I thought the goal of these streams was to inflict pain upon the designer.
Yes. Let's play General Lullier. For 4 operations points in Chateau de Vincent.
Oh my god.
Fubar, GMG, you might just say that our pronunciation is, in fact, Fubar.
It is definitely Fubar. My 2 years of high school French are useless.
My 0 years of high school French are very useful.
Well, Fred, I will play up my American accent as much as possible for all of these names from now on. Oh, I'm pushing it, Fred. So Drew is using 4 operation points in Chateau de Vincennes.
Vincennes. We're terrible. Okay.
That's a C, Drew. C's
man.
are a hard sound.
Cateau.
Should not have taken a drink there.
I am actually really used to all C's being hard because of Gaelic. Like all the Inish. Anytime I play Inish, or Pendragon or any other game with Irish names, it's like always C's hards. Okay.
What about
dang, I love the military removal rules, but man, I'm so annoyed that you put into Fort DC right now.
That can't be entirely true though, because isn't like Cuchulainn actually pronounced like Chuchulainn or something in the original?
It's Cuchulainn.
Cuchulainn?
It's Cuchulainn.
Oh, I thought I looked that up and it was different. Oh well. Anyway.
Chuchulainn. Guerric, not everything is about trains, okay? I know you're obsessed, but come on, really? Choo-choo lane.
It's been a while since I looked those up. In my defense, I remember Kate Sith is actually like Kate C or something.
Yes, Gaelic is definitely its whole own ballpark. The diphthongs and the sounds in there are all over the map for English speakers. My favorite is the MH, which makes like 3 different sounds, none of which are even remotely close to English MH. It's like a W sound or a V with some breathiness, depending on where it is in a word. It's so good. Okay, I need to decide what I'm doing.
I'm just going back to Klingon. That makes sense. I had no fewer than 3 Klingon dictionaries as a kid.
Yeah, it would be so worth trying to roll a 2 if I had 2 points, if I still had control of Fort DC, but I don't. Now I need to roll a 1 to remove, which sucks. So the question is, I only have 3 cubes available before I breach into Final Crisis, and I do not want to do that. Okay, so I guess that just sort of forces me into, I'm going to attempt a removal.
Okay.
Here. I have 1. I guess I could spend 2. That seems like a waste, though, because I can always just place 3 cubes and be done with it. Yeah, no, I'll just spend 1 up, so I only have 1 military strength from control of this adjacent space. We're gonna draw a strategy card and hope for a 1.
Yeah, you baby. Lucky duck.
All right, so that removes, and then I have 3 more ops.
Card drawn.
Oh, okay, good to know. I knew that, and I just totally forgot. But that is kind of sad because now I was kind of excited about military actions potentially triggering cards that could be then purchased by the other player. Seems kind of a cool mechanic, but I get why it's not there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will then. Do I want to use all these cubes? Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to place 3 instead of trying to gamble on another removal. So there we go. And that's it for me. Over to you, Guerric. That was my 4 ops. I have way too many cubes stuck in public opinion.
Yeah, I'm just letting you have that.
I know, right, Fred? It's so exciting.
Oh, breach. You got a breach.
Oh yes, thank you. That was intentional or intended.
This is the Guerric Makes Funny Faces stream. Fred needs a break from our foobar pronunciations.
I get it. I would too.
Yeah.
Where's that playbook? Well, Garrick's thinking. I'm going to bring out the playbook so that I can correct Garrick's pronunciation with my also terrible pronunciation. At least I'll have a resource. Speaking of pronunciation, I'm going to pitch Revolutions again. I love that podcast. It's Duncan does there's 4 seasons that involve the French because there were so many revolutions there in the 18th and 19th centuries, and he's terrible at pronouncing French names, but he slowly gets better over the course of the podcast as he gets corrected repeatedly by everyone. He's at the end of every other episode, he's like, "Thank you, listeners. You explained how to pronounce this. I'm going to try to butcher it less." It's very entertaining to listen to the pronunciation journey across 4 seasons of it. Guerric, you should become a history nerd.
I'm not a history nerd. I just have different interests than you do. Europe, get out of here. Give me that weeb shit.
I don't know if that quite counts as history, Guerric. I hate to break it to you, but most of the things that you read about in mangas did not actually happen.
So you're telling me that Lu Bu and Oda Nobunaga did not go to war?
I don't know who those people are, but yes, I am telling you that.
They're not even from the same country. Lu Bu's from China and Oda Nobunaga's from Japan.
Ah, okay.
You don't know Oda Nobunaga?
No, I have very little exposure to anime or manga. I watched Dragon Ball Z a bunch when I was a kid, and I watched a lot of Gundam Wing. And
no, I mean he's a real historical figure from the Sengoku period, which is a really fascinating period of war in Japan.
I assume you are very, very, very excited for Pure Lands to come out.
I'm very, very excited for Pure Land.
Another excellent upcoming coin design by Joe Dewhurst.
Yes.
Who I believe was Was he the developer for this? He's developing Jest of Robin Hood. I don't know if he worked on this.
Yeah, I'm not
Maybe
sure.
Fred will tell us when he gets back.
I did not. Well, I probably knew you were involved, Fred. I didn't know that you were a dev. I gotta think more about the game and less about the Sengoku period now.
Okay, yeah. So Fred says Joe worked on this at the end.
Okay. Right. I remember Fred mentioning that Joe gave the cards a pass for clarity and usability and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember that too.
So I got really
We're
sidetracked.
terrible streamers. This has been a long.
I know.
tangent.
I'm sorry. We mentioned Sengoku, and I started I went on a mental tangent of explaining how Sekigahara, the unification of Japan, ties into the Sengoku period. But then I didn't say it. I tried to go back to thinking, but I'm failing. I'm going to hate everything. Just absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. Oh my god. These friggin' cards. You don't even know, Drew. You don't even know. You think you know? You don't even know.
Don't even know. All right. Well, I'm excited. I'm very much looking forward to the Final Crisis hand.
Don't mix Sengoku and Sun Goku. That's really funny. How have I never heard that before?
That is amazing.
All right. I'm playing Execution of Generals for its ops, and I'm going to attempt to remove your cube in Fort DC. For DC, I don't know. So by my calculation,
you have presence and control adjacent. So
and I also control the target space
and control of target space. Yep. So you just auto succeed.
Yes.
You have 3.
And then I think your pool is maxed, right?
Oh no!
Yes.
Yes, it is maxed. So this is removed from play. I'm gonna put it.
That was intentional.
That was graveyard of revolutionaries.
And that is my entire turn. Very, very anticlimactic.
Yeah, no kidding. If possible, you must increase Prussian collaboration, then replace up to 2 cubes in a Paris space where you're present. Oh, good play of that event. Totally useless right now. Okay, Yeah, I will play Freemason Parade. And
for DC. DC? Ooh, I love that art on Freemason Parade.
I know, right? The art is excellent.
It's got a spooky skeleton. Did you say you're using it for ops or event?
Oh, sorry. I am using it for the ops.
Okay.
Sucks so much. I'll use it in the military sphere. God. I don't really want to breach Final Crisis, I don't think. Which means it's going to be a 2-op card, I suppose, or I could remove. Yeah, okay, might as well. So I will remove. I'm using it in the military theater. I will attempt to remove this.
Okay.
It's actually I won't attempt. It's guaranteed because I have
Yep.
control, and presence.
Yep.
And then I will place my other two ops, and they can go here and here's fine for now. Okay, you're up.
Hmm.
The Freemasons was a really cool event, but I wasn't sure I wanted to give you initiative this turn. But now you potentially, assuming you have a three op card to discard, you can potentially take it yourself. It was a really interesting balance this turn, trying to figure out what to do with that. Fred, the pronunciation guide does not seem to include spaces. It just is cards, unless I'm missing something. Like all of the card descriptions in the back of the book have pronunciation guides, but I'm not seeing one for.
Oh, you can't purchase neutrals from the discard, Fred?
Oh, okay. Well, that saves me a bunch of worry about that. Yeah, you should throw a little pronunciation guide for the spaces in here, unless I'm just missing it. Oh, there is guidelines. It's telling you how things are pronounced. You can probably figure it out from the guidelines section. Ah, didn't have room. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, playbook length is always hard. Those things get beefy and they need every single page, usually.
So when you're removing cubes in a military space, you can pitch the other card in your hand for an extra point. Is that right?
Not the other card in your hand, you just spend an extra op.
Got
Max
it.
of one.
That's
So
right.
like if you play a 2-op card, you
Yep.
could spend both of the ops on a single removal event and it will increase your combat strength
Yep.
by 1.
I don't know where I got that idea in my head.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to pitch cards out of my hands.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just delete this 1-op terrible events.
I will. Oh, man. This is just straight terrible. Just straight terrible. It really is. I'll I think what I'll do is increase my momentum by pitching a card.
You're the worst. Now's a great time to do that. I will refrain from placing a cube into public opinion.
And then I get +1 military VP, right?
Correct. Yep.
All right. You're up.
Hmm. Oh man, I hate to sacrifice.
Oh, is it at the end of the game, Fred? That's fine.
Oh, right. Yes, that's true. The bonus VPs are at the end of the game. So you actually have to stay at the top of the track in order to actually get that scored.
That's fine.
Oh man, do I want to sacrifice a political victory point for a guaranteed military victory point? Probably. Because that would allow me to get even more cubes back. Seems like it might be worth it. It actually gets a bunch more cubes out, which I really need right now. Okay, yeah, I hate to do this, but whatever. Well, okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm gonna play Ernest de Cisse, probably. I'm going to breach.
That is clearly Ernest de Sissy.
I'm breaching Final Crisis. So I lose a political victory point. And I'm going to be using them in the military theater. I'm placing one here. I don't know if it really matters. I think the forts I can just ignore since I have so many over here. Well, no, I could attempt to remove before I place. This is the last card, so there's nothing you can do to stop. Yeah, let's keep this in reserve. Actually, so I have to remove first, so I guess I technically haven't done anything yet. So yeah, all attempts to remove a cube here, I have a strength of 2. And it is a 1, so one of these goes back to your pool. And then I'll use my second one to place up here, which breaches
Yep.
Final Crisis. These two come down to my pool. I already lost my political VP. And that is the end of the round. So, set aside cards.
Yep. I did that
Remaining
already.
card for Final Crisis. Okay, cool. Perform pivotal spaces. You now have initiative, so you choose the order in which that is done.
I don't really think it makes a difference. I'll just resolve this one first, and I will turncoat this.
Okay. Yep.
And then
oh crap. Damn it. I did not plan that well. Oh shoot, I can't de-escalate because there's no room in my pool. Oh, fuck me.
de-escalate anyway. Oh yeah. Do we get points for the thing after this? Yeah. Yeah, Score Crisis Dimensions is after this.
Oh yeah, pivotal spaces is first because that can actually sometimes swing a crisis dimension into scoring. Oh, that is so terrible. I probably should not have played that card that way. I should have just ignored Montmartre and advanced. Yeah, that was a bad decision. I'm playing terribly.
Not as bad as me.
Fair.
I also had an atrocious hand.
Yeah, you did have a pretty rough hand. Okay, well, I'm not going to do anything with either of my pivotal spaces. I would love to de-escalate, but that just deletes cubes for no reason, so... I can move around. I guess I'll move this one to here.
Yeah.
Yep, whatever. So yeah, now we score crisis dimensions. So I get a military victory point
and a political,
bringing you to 0, and then I get a political victory point over here. And now we reveal objectives.
Royalists.
Jeez, you keep getting free objectives. It's so annoying.
All right, for all the good it does me.
Well, it's hurting me. This is not good. You're scoring political points while I'm over here stuck on the military stuff that I don't care about. Which one do you want to resolve first? Doesn't matter, but
why don't you go ahead and resolve yours, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to use any operation points of Paris. But I guess I got a barricade, why not? And then military VP. Okay, you're up.
Okay.
So you're scoring a political VP. Oh, terrible. So terrible. And then do your thing.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be. Oh no, does that give you National Assembly? Damn, it could.
It could, but I feel like it might be
cubes too.
I feel like it might be better to like keep throwing your cubes out into the garbage while I can.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Chip away at the chateau.
Yeah.
You could remove one of my cubes from
no.
here.
No. Very, very kind of you, but no. Yeah, we're just gonna pitch one of the cubes in Chateau in case I get a truly awful hand again.
Okay. Cool. All right. So that's objectives. We are not going straight to Final Crisis quite yet.
So we do it again.
So on to round 3.
Last round.
Yep. Okay, so I definitely still have the initiative. So what do I want to do? Or the control of the initiative.
Oh, interesting, Fred. I could remove bonus cubes that are left for Sai.
Oh yeah, that's right. So these 2 bonus cubes just get removed from the game.
Oh, right.
As
Yeah.
soon as the other player breaches the final crisis.
Now I understand what Fred meant. Yes.
Yeah.
Did you pick your objective? Yeah, you did. Okay.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide on initiative right now.
Yeah. Interesting.
I'll let you keep the initiative, so you're going first again.
Okay.
Ooh, wait. Oh no, do I need to worry about that?
Sticking with it?
No, you go ahead. Yep, sticking with it.
Okay. I think I'm going to do this right. I think I'm going to play Victor Hugo, which says if you have initiative, you must increase both player momentums and then use up to 4 operations points in public opinion spaces.
Oh, terrible. That's so bad. Okay, so then
yeah, those.
I knew I should have gone first and protected that.
Yeah.
So those just get deleted immediately.
And then I have 4 operations in public opinion spaces.
Have fun with that.
Yeah, I will. I think I probably just
I don't really care about that right now.
I just mean like
press. I guess I care about the point from press. That's true.
Yeah, I mean I think I just remove those 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not going first might have lost me the game. I was like, I probably should increase my momentum.
Yeah, I was definitely due Badger. That last hand was atrocious. I was holding on for dear life. Do I threaten press with my 4th point, or do I just remove another thing and like severely limit his cubes. Probably place the one in press, I think.
Okay.
We'll go with that. I'm not going to dwell on it too much longer. I lie.
What am I going to do? Yeah, I'm gonna pitch the murder of Vincenzini to increase my momentum. You're up.
Okay. I think what we're going to do is play Archbishop Georges Darbois
Oh, jeez.
for operations points.
A lot of ops that you have been able to snag this turn.
Yeah, I needed it. We're going to try removing this in Chateau de Vincennes.
Yep. So looks like 2 strength.
Is it only 2 because I'm not Prussian occupied territory anymore.
You're no longer here, yeah. And actually, I don't know if this counts as control. Oh no, I think it does. So actually, if it would, you would be at 3 if you had that, but you move this down.
In that case, I need to rethink a little bit. Let me get that back. I forgot I lowered my momentum.
I mean, honestly, you probably have it anyway. There's not that many 3s in the deck, probably, and we've seen quite a few so far. I think the odds are pretty low that you draw 3.
It's more so what I do with the rest of the operation points that matters.
Oh, I see.
No, we'll stick with it. Yeah. So attempting this removal first. Yeah, I have 3, right? Because presence, adjacent control, and just two. Yeah, that's fine.
So you just need to not draw 3.
Yeah,
you should be good.
It's 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we're going to attempt to remove this, I think.
Okay. So just the 1.
Is it just a 1? Ooh, you're right.
Yeah, you have control in 1 adjacent space.
No, we're not going to do that. We'll just do 2 in there.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna pitch Valentine and increase revolutionary momentum. So you get to place a cube in one of the political spaces, institutional spaces.
We'll throw one in National Assembly.
Yep. Yeah, that's the obvious play. Oh shoot, you know what? I'm not even gonna be able to get to 3 probably unless I do my entire turn going up this track. So is this not even worth doing? Uh, You can't play this event.
I cannot. That's maybe a good reason for it. I have to be present.
Yeah, I'd be relying on your final or my final crisis hand events to move me up 1. Or I'd have to spend another card this turn doing that. Yeah, you know what? Sorry,
It's
let's
fine.
undo that. I'm just gonna play for ops, and I don't really know what to do with my op.
I liked it when you were doing it, which means it was probably the wrong choice for you.
I think it's only the right choice if I can guarantee getting up to 3. And at this point, I don't know if that's super likely.
Yeah.
I'd have to waste my next card just doing that, and I'd probably need it to react, I imagine. Because it depends on what you come up with next. Okay, so I have an op. Let's just place into press and deny it for now. Oops. You're up.
Okay. Um. I think I'll go ahead and play Hostage Decree for its ops. And just place a cube in National Assembly and a cube in... maybe another one in press, actually. Yeah, maybe it will be annoying.
Okay. I will play Conciliation for the ops. I will remove 2 from press. And then I will let's see. You are actually going to do. You're gonna have good timing on things. So pivotal actions, you will take. Let's see. So yeah, you could turncoat me here. Oh, you could move stuff into Republicans, which then scores you a point. Is there any way for me to deny that? Probably not. Yeah, I can't touch National Assembly because I don't control somewhere adjacent. But I will go ahead and stuff somebody into Republicans. I think actually that guarantees you can't control institutions using your pivotal space bonus action. So that's what I'll do.
Can I not turncoat there?
What?
Can I not turncoat there?
Oh, good point. No, you're right. You could turncoat. I was thinking move, but yeah, turncoat guarantees it. What else could I do? You can turncoat there. You can turncoat anywhere. So yeah, you're getting a point from this. Which means I guess I could remove one here. Ooh, yeah, I think actually that's the right play. If I remove one here, you can turncoat, but then you don't have Republicans, or you can move. But
And I don't have royalists. Yeah.
Yep,
I think that's
what
it.
I'll do. Okay. So that's the turn. Discard or set aside Final Crisis card.
Yep.
And then pivotal space bonus actions. You decide the order.
Why don't you start with your two, I guess, maybe military first?
Okay. I think I will de-escalate 1 cube. Well, let me look at my Final Crisis hand, actually. What do we got going on in here? And actually, how much does it matter? So after Final Crisis hands, is there any more point scoring? Yes, so okay, there is a final Crisis Dimension scoring, and there's final pivotal space bonus actions. Yeah, okay, so that means I probably want to hang on to Montmartre. Oof. Okay. That nice, cool. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it here and do nothing with my military pivotal
Okay.
space action. And do you want me to go press next, or are you gonna do
Go ahead and do press.
Valerian? Okay. I think I'm just gonna move this guy into here, and that's it. And then you're up.
Okay. I don't think I have that much to worry about. I mean, I'll go ahead and turncoat this.
Yeah, you might as well.
And maybe I'll just put that there.
Yeah, that also makes sense.
Okay.
I think.
That's that.
Okay, so Crisis Dimensions, we both score a military point, so it stays where it's at.
Yep. And then you score a political.
And I score a political. Yep. And then we reveal our objectives. Of course you keep getting these.
Hey, of course you got Catholic Church. Come on.
Yeah, I know. All right, go ahead.
Well, I get a military point, right?
Yep. Yeah, so that's right. Military points.
Um,
I'll get a political point.
why don't you resolve yours first, actually, since I have initiative I get to choose, right?
Yeah. Okay, I think it makes sense to replace this guy. Just be annoying in there. Won't last long, but you never know.
It says replace in 2 different political
Oh,
spaces.
2 different places. Ooh.
Oh, that mean it.
I guess I'll throw one into Royalists. Why not?
Well, does that mean one down here and one up here? Because it's got the triangle square slash.
It's 2 different political spaces, and all of these are political spaces. So I think
That's what I thought.
Fred's in the chat, but it seems like it's just has to be 2 different spaces in any political theater.
Those
Those
that.
symbols are just reminding you which ones are political spaces.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, I can understand that use of the symbols.
I think it would probably say like something like in one institutional space and one public opinion space.
Yeah, I
If
agree.
it was meant to be separate. Oops, that's yeah. So I guess I'm out of cubes again, but why not? We'll do that.
All right, with my 2 operations points, I'm gonna throw 2 cubes into there.
Yep.
Okay.
Seems smart. Okie dokie. So
Final Crisis.
we are on to Final Crisis. Yep. So, Final Crisis, we collect the strategy cards we set aside. We add the Final Crisis card.
And then we discard, don't we? To hand size equals the number of rounds.
We discard down to the number of rounds, yeah. So if Final Crisis happens earlier, the hand gets smaller, but
Got
we
it.
have oh, actually, no, we have 4 cards, so you
right,
can discard one of the Final Crisis cards.
That's what I was wondering.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
That is really nice.
I can get rid of this garbage.
Place a barricade in a spare space. Oh. Well, I get rid of remove 2 from social movements, so I'll take it. Okay. So now we check for initiative. I still have control of initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna choose the wrong thing again. All right, what are my big threats? I have plenty of space in the pool. I have no more cubes. Hmm. What is there? There's no objectives, but there's final pivotals and final crisis dimensions. I think I can afford to let you go first. So you have the initiative.
Okay. I'm going to play Jules Favre, which says I can increase my momentum
Nice.
and then put 1 into Republicans.
Yep. Hmm. Yeah, let's do Karl Marx. I draw 3 cards, discard 2 of them, and then activate the event of the third. So I'm just gonna do it publicly because you're gonna see him anyway. Oh fuck. Oh, barricade. Okay, that's fine. I was gonna say I don't want to decrease revolutionary momentum. Ah.
It says you must decrease, so you'd have to do the decrease.
Yeah, I know that's so terrible, but I'm clearly not going to
Why
do
not?
one of these events. Carl, come on, you failed me.
It technically says discard them in any order. I don't think
I could discard all of them.
Oh yeah.
Actually, that's removed from the game.
Right, that's what I mean.
Here. But I don't think you can discard cards to take face down events.
Right, I was about to say I don't think it
sure
matters in Final Crisis.
Oh, it matters. It matters because I could have played Karl Marx in a regular turn.
In a regular turn, right?
It does matter. Yep.
But I was saying I don't think it matters in Final Crisis.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, we're gonna. Oh man, that's terrible. Well, maybe it probably is fine actually. Yeah, whatever. I will.
It's probably fine. I think you still have a really good position.
Yeah, I do. And it gets me a barricade up here, which is better than placing a cube. So
yeah,
we'll take it. And you are up.
All right.
Oh, actually, no, I don't have any cubes to place. So yeah, I just get a barricade.
Yeah. I'll play Marshall McMahon. 4 operations points in Paris spaces. So we'll just go 1, 2.
Yep.
3 and 4.
Yep. Looks correct to me. Well, let's play Delaclue. So I have 3 ops in military spaces and an op in a political space.
Or an op in a political space.
So what is the most efficient? I think I remove here first because I have strength 2 because of adjacent control and presence.
Yep.
Which then will give me max to go in here. Yeah, okay, so I'll do this. Got to draw. Don't be a 3. Whew.
Darn.
Yep, so that cube gets removed. And then I'll use my other 2 ops removing 2 cubes here for free because I have strength 3 now. Cube pool. Okay, and then for my political op. Honestly, I'm not totally sure what I want to do there. I can only remove. So it's either Royalists or Republicans. I don't know if it really matters that much. Let's do Republicans.
Okay.
All right, over to you.
Yep, final card, Georges Clemenceau, or something. I'll go ahead and move all 3 of my cubes from Paris spaces.
Oh, nice.
We'll throw,
very nice.
I guess, all 3 in here.
Yeah, very nice. I can't believe you didn't have any red events in there.
I had 1, but I discarded it.
I know, but yeah, I guess I'm what I'm saying is I can't believe you didn't discard 2 red events over the course of your terrible hands. Okay, Jules Ducatel, I don't have a hand anymore for you to reveal, but you get 1 free ops point in a military space, which I'm actually very glad about because now it's not relevant. I'm very sad about this happening, but at least this event is useless for you. Go ahead and remove something, or attempt, I guess. I was really bummed because you were going to have control of this at the end of the day.
Yeah, I didn't expect that, honestly.
Well, you couldn't have.
I guess I'll go ahead and it's not gonna matter because you have. Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Well, no, it will matter a little bit. If you can remove this, it denies me a military VP.
Well, no, because you can just move.
Oh, duh, you're right. Yeah, I'll
Right.
have the pivotal space, and I'll just yeah. Never mind.
Hey, Sauce. Yeah, we're nearing the end, but it's a really interesting game. It's a really interesting game. I think my one op goes to just placing something in here. You still just move.
Yeah, that's true.
But you can't
I still just
turncoat.
move, but then it's
yeah,
guaranteed rather than having to gamble on a removal.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So now we perform pivotal space bonus actions in the order that you choose.
Yep. They are indeed pivotal. Surprise, surprise. Why don't you go ahead and resolve this one since we know it's a done deal?
Yeah.
And then why don't you resolve this one?
I think I just leave it.
Cool. Yeah, I will just leave this one, and then over here we'll move 1 to there.
Yep. Very good. Okay, so Crisis Dimensions get scored. There is no change. We both score 1 of each type of point.
Yep.
But then you gain a military VP for your momentum. But I think
doesn't matter. You still
believe there's anything else, so I
yeah.
win.
Decisively. Yeah, my second round was all red cards, and it was 3 1s and a 2. It was awful. Now, granted, I got a decent first and third hand, I think. So like I didn't like get screwed all game or anything, but that second round was rough.
Yeah, it was for sure.
This is really good.
That last round really sucked for me. You getting to play Hugo.
Yeah,
me
Hugo.
Giving of that turn was a huge mistake.
Huge mistake. I mean, it ended up not really mattering. I think
it did end up not mattering. Yeah, that's true.
You were in such a strong position coming out of the first round, and then I couldn't do anything about it in the second round. So like, I would have needed a huge swing in the third round, and that was good, but it wasn't a huge swing.
Yeah.
But this is a really good game.
Yeah, it's great. The tension around the initiative card in general is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Just because, like, well, I guess we didn't actually see the order of operations matter.
It mattered
or the objectives, really.
It mattered a little bit in regards to Q pools for you.
That's true.
But it was not huge. You're right. The Q pool there. Q pool consideration for you is interesting. That asymmetry between the two sides. It adds a really interesting dynamic where it makes placement versus removal a really different consideration than just straight like throw stuff away, place stuff down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And managing this momentum track is really, really critical too.
Yeah.
Because of that. And I did not manage that well this game at all. So, but it's like it's just amazing. I mean, I knew that those dynamics would be present for both of us. Like you're kind of cube starved at the beginning, and I have a glut of them. But then I have to worry, like late game, I have to worry about running out if I don't manage this pool correctly.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting how it models things too, because like Commune, I feel like has a lot of momentum in the early game, and they can kind of peter out at the end if they don't manage this.
Yeah.
Whereas Versailles starts slow and builds up a little bit over the course of the game, which is very historical. Like it fits the setting very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I wish it would have killed me actually, but it would be really interesting to see with the objectives if you were able to fully control. So at least, actually, I guess maybe we're playing this wrong, but at least as I understand it, you score the VPs in any order, and then after that you do the events in any order.
Oh, really?
But if it was, yeah, that's how I'm reading the rules. But if it were different and you could do the entire, if the initiative player decides the entire order of objective, like I fulfill my whole objective, I score my VP and then I do the event. All of the objectives, well, almost all of them that we saw has a remove one from any space,
right?
Which then could be used to impact the other player's objective.
So that's actually how I was interpreting it during the game. I didn't realize you used to score the points and then resolve the effects. So I was thinking it was going to influence the other areas, and I thought that was really interesting. So
yeah, so the way I read it, well,
no, I just checked the rulebook and I agree. Okay. It very clearly says you score all the VPs and then you resolve all the effects. Yeah.
Like because there were several scenarios where, here's an example. So Pope Pius.
Fred, we're just criticizing your game.
Oh, Fred.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
We just
Fred,
finished.
We just finished. We were just talking about how it would be really interesting if you, instead of resolving both of the victory points first, you resolved the full card first. So like on Guerric's turn, he did VP, then I did VP, and then he chose to do his event and then give me the event. But if they were combined, so like he does the VP and the event, then he could have denied me my points. Because by using the remove one from any space, he could have kicked this cube out of the Catholic Church, and then I no longer fulfill my events at all. I'm sure there's a reason that.
Yeah, I'm sure Fred has put far more time and effort into this than we have. So, but yeah, Commune won,
Fred,
somewhat decisively. I never recovered from that second round, which I was going into it from a position of weakness, and then got that round. And while Hugo was good, he was not good enough to be a big swing in the third round. But it was really, really interesting.
Yeah, I ended up with a good enough hand in the third round to allow me to straight hang on to control of this and
straight VP, Fred.
I had no cubes. Yep, 3-1.
Yeah,
honestly, it's closer than it looks. Like if you'd been able to deny this, then I think we would have gone to tiebreaker because I would have had 2 less points off of. Oh wait, no, that's not true.
No.
No, yeah, I would have had 2 less points off of it because one less political point from round 3, and then 1 less political point.
If I contested it in round 3, you mean? Yeah.
Well, but Victor Hugo blew it up in round 3, and then I was barely able to scrabble back with 1 cube.
Yeah.
But that's only because I had a really solid hand. So if things had been even slightly different, and I didn't have control of this, then we would have ended the game probably 1-1.
And I wonder if I should have just not bothered with Chateau de Vincennes that much, expecting you to leave it alone and contested you over here more. Because I think I reinforced this on my third round and it ended up.
You did, yeah. You spent a lot of time, or not a lot of time, but you spent a full card doing this, and I was like, well, I don't really care about that. So
right.
I was glad for it. If you'd fought really hard for press, put a bunch of cubes in there so that I couldn't use. I mean, I had a good hand. I had that 3 ops card at the end, which allowed me to. I forget what I did. I think I placed a cube and removed 2 of yours or something, and that helped me quite a bit. So I think it ended up being a little closer than it looks at given the current board state, but it really came down to the cards that we had.
There's the link. I was finding the P500 link for chat, which I should mention, this is on P500. You should go back it because this is a really good game. I know we just spent like 10 minutes nitpicking it a little bit, but it is a really good game. It was interesting decisions throughout, even even when I was down and it seemed like it was pretty clear I was not going to win, it was still really interesting decisions. And this could definitely be a short game. I know our stream was just 2.5 hours, but half hour for teach. And
I also spent a good amount of time teaching too. And we also spent a half hour talking about Sengoku.
The most focused stream.
Yes. Also, last I checked, I think the most recent newsletter said that this is on the queue to be sent to the printer in like the next couple of months.
Yeah, I think I remember reading that.
Not only it's on P500 and it has made the cut, but it's also going to the printer very soon. So if you back it on P500, you will get it into your hands very soon. Probably by the end of the year, I would expect.
Yeah.
So.
God, now I gotta go back this.
Hey, look, you don't hate CDGs after all.
Nope, I didn't think I hated CDGs.
Not all of them. I know. You just had a bad couple of first experiences.
Yeah, I was whelmed by 13 days, and I Twilight Struggles app was not the way for me to learn it. That's all.
Yeah. No, I agree. The 13 days is definitely, it's fun, but it's not super exciting. I feel like this game is much more interesting than 13 days.
Yeah, I feel like this is very similar, but good. I don't think it's
there's a lot more depth, I feel like, in this game.
I don't think it's controversial to slag off 13 days. Like, everyone kind of agrees it's very okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we get ourselves in trouble, I should probably shut this down. You've got your meeting soon anyway.
That's true.
So anyway, thanks everyone for watching. This was Red Flag over Paris, and it is really good. No promises about playing again. Not because I don't like it, just because I don't know when we'd schedule it. But I would not be against playing it or other CDGs, Drew. We could try things.
Yeah, we're gonna dive you straight in the deep end. We're playing Twilight Struggle sometime.
Oh God.
I will be a much more friendly teacher than the app.
I don't know how much I believe you.
What do you mean?
You just kicked my butt.
Well, that's because both of us don't know what we're doing.
That's true.
It would be more like my Falling Sky teach. I would teach the game, and then I would tell you what to do.
So you would play the game for me.
No, I would gently offer strategic insights.
Instruction.
No, insights.
All right. I'm shutting down the stream. We have Vast tonight. Thank you everyone for watching. We will see you next time. Have a good one.